Hello, and welcome to the first ever episode of The Marketing Mix. This is going to be live every 2 weeks, and you can watch wherever you feel comfortable, Facebook or YouTube. It's going to be live in two places at the same time. So I do hope you can join me every 2 weeks. Now, I am going to bring in guests onto The Marketing Mix. That kind of played a little bit into the name that I decided to pick. So the marketing mix is actually different types of activities that you do in marketing. It's part of marketing theory, but I called this show the marketing mix because it's going to be a mix of me and other people talking to you about different types of marketing, the different types of mixes that you can use. So I felt it was an appropriate name. Do request marketing topics, so you can either email me or comment on my Facebook page or tweet me, whatever's easiest for you. Let me know what marketing topics you want to learn about, and I will find the guests that I can to give you some advice in those areas. I can see that Sarah K has said hello. So do say hello in the chat so that I can see who's here today, and so that I can acknowledge you and ask questions in the chat as well. So let me know if you have any questions as we go along, so that I can answer those too. So today we're going to be talking about how to create an email marketing plan, and one that you actually stick to, because let's face it, we all start off with the greatest of intentions of, we create plans and we sort of put them down and we look at them in the beginning, and it's with the greatest of intentions of carrying those out, and they typically tend to fall by the wayside. So I'm a big fan of creating plans, but today I'm going to help you create one that you're actually going to stick to, and one that's going to benefit your business in terms of finding new and repeat customers. So before I sort of get into the nitty-gritty of what you can do for the plan, Sarah's just told me it's pronounced Sarah. Let me explain to you why I think that perhaps the planning part fails for some businesses. I mean, we all have started off planning and put a lot of effort into it, and then things have gone a bit skew with, and we've given up. And did you know that, in fact, I'm just thinking, we've got to February, that actually at the beginning of January, if you made New Year's resolutions, you did that with the intent of really sticking to them and getting somewhere this year with whatever resolutions you've made. But actually, by the time we get to February, 80% of us will feel that we failed. Now, that's a huge number. And I think sometimes we maybe set ourselves resolutions that are much too big, and take a lot of doing to maintain. So what about email marketing? It might be your resolution this year to actually get better with email marketing this year, or just get started. How can you do that without giving up? Well, why might your email marketing intentions fail? So here are some things that might sound familiar. You've not taken the time to create a plan to give you structure. Maybe creating that plan seems too time consuming, and you've given up too soon because you've forgotten how much email marketing has an impact on your business. Not only to find new customers, but importantly, just as importantly, in fact, maybe even more, because it's cheaper to get repeat business than it is to find new business, 5 times cheaper, in fact. Or maybe you've done the hard work of creating a plan, but it goes out of the window when things change. Remember 2020? I started 2020 with a marketing plan. I went on holiday at the beginning of February, fully intending on kicking off that marketing plan when I got back after 2 weeks. On the way back from holiday, it was evident that something was going to happen, and I was like, oh, maybe it won't come here, maybe we'll be okay. By the beginning of March, it was obvious that things were going to change here. So you have to remember that your plans maybe have to be flexible, and the chopping and changing that we do perhaps puts us off actually planning, and just we end up reacting to things. So those are some of the reasons why you might give up. But here's a big tip for you. I don't know about you, but when I plan, if I sit down and decide that I'm going to spend 2 hours planning, after about half an hour, my mind starts wandering, and I start maybe looking at social media or checking my emails or doing something else. So here's a big tip: is give yourself 15 minutes. Do this in 15-minute chunks just to make it easier for you, so to keep your mind on the task and to help you to really focus on what you're doing. Because 15 minutes is not a lot of time. You can even set yourself a timer on your phone, or if you've got a cooking timer or something, like, you can find 15 minutes and set that timer so that you work really in a focused way for 15 minutes and get as much done as you can in that time, and then you put away your plan and then come back to it at another time. So here's the first thing that I recommend you do. Yay, Graham, you just found me. Brilliant. My email went out this morning and I tested all the links in it yesterday, and the link to the Facebook reminder didn't work. Thanks, Facebook. So number one on the list is to actually figure out what you're going to plan on. You know, like, grab yourself a piece of paper, or if you like to do it on a laptop, maybe open a Word doc or a Google doc, and then just sit down and, you know, get that 15 minutes, like however you like to plan, whatever it is. The first thing you want to do is plot out dates in the year that are relevant for your business. So, for example, Valentine's Day next weekend. If you make and sell chocolates, some of the dates that you might have on your list: Valentine's Day for this month, Mother's Day, Easter, Halloween, Christmas. These are particular times for your business to actually promote what you're doing, and you might want to tie that in with things like blog posts that you've written, or videos that you've done, or tips, but those are particularly relevant times of the year for your business. Now, once you've done that, take a break. I know, take a break. Go put the kettle on or do another task and come back when your head is clear and you have another 15 minutes. Now, breaking up your planning into these chunks is going to help you get it done, and you're not going to feel under pressure to get it all completed in one go. And I think that's when people give up, is when they just put those targets on themselves, like, oh, this afternoon I'm going to plan out my email marketing, and then it gets to the point where they think, oh, I just can't think of any more things that I want to include in my newsletters, or when I want to send, or articles that I want to include, or whatever it is. That is really off-putting. And I'll tell you what I do. I generally, at the beginning of the month, will look at what I've got coming up in the month, and then, because I send weekly, I plan my weekly emails at the beginning of the month, and say, right, well, here's all the things that I've got coming up, and here are the things that I want to tell my list about. And then once I've got those down, it's really easy to actually create the emails, actually write them, and I do that quickly. And I do test every single email that goes out. Sometimes they just come and bite you on the bum. So have we got any questions so far in terms of finding those key dates? Who's got examples of dates that might be particularly relevant for their business? Now, Graham, I know you've got a gifts business, so I can imagine that there are a number of times during the year that you can really plot out on your calendar that are relevant for your business. And Sarah, gosh, I imagine that there must be a National Yoga Day. Surely there must be a National Yoga Day. What are the dates that are relevant for your business, do type them in the comments so I can see. And maybe someone else can get ideas from what you have commented as well. So that would be helpful to other people that are watching. Okay, so the next thing is, and you probably, if you've known me for a long time, if you've been around me for a long time, I say this quite a lot, that marketing is not a tap that you turn on when you need sales. I'm just going to stop there at that point because, oh, where's it gone? Sarah. World Laughter Day. What Sarah does is incredible. She makes people laugh. That's what I'm going to leave you with. She helps people to find their laugh. But it would be good for you to find out what Sarah does. Maggie's saying that she's working on listening skills, so mental health days are relevant. That's particularly important right now, isn't it? We're all, I think we've all got cabin fever, really, and we're all having up and down days. So that's definitely very important to keep track of that. Yeah, Sarah said World Mental Health Day as well. So I think Sarah's saying World Laughter Day is the first Sunday in May. I think we all need to remember that because I think we all just need a really good laugh right now. So marketing is not a tap that you turn on when you need sales. You should be marketing your business all the time, full stop. And that means being consistent. You have to be consistent. You have to turn up, and you have to turn up every day. So you have the times of the year that you want to communicate with your audience, and you need to turn that into regular emails. And if you have certain gaps in certain months when you've got fewer things happening, then what you can pick other dates that you can hook your message onto. So we've just talked about awareness days. They are absolutely brilliant to hook your message onto. So Sarah, for World Laughter Day, she could write a blog post or do a video giving people tips on how to put laughter back into their lives. Goodness knows we need that right now. Graham might talk about for his business. He might talk about for Mother's Day. He might talk about the top 10 gifts that mums really appreciate receiving on Mother's Day. Hello, Spoken World Productions. It's nice to have you here. So think about those awareness days, and they're not just great for you to create email content. I'm a big fan of repurposing the content that you do have. For anything that you create for email marketing around awareness days, you can use on social media as well. So it's brilliant to use that, and you can create images and videos and little memes and all sorts of things with everything that you found to help you create content for your newsletters. Okay, so I don't know about you, but when I write something down, it gets done. When I was younger, I used to be able to keep everything up here. But these days, I need one of these. So if it gets written down, it gets done, and it gets transferred. Once it's on a list, it gets transferred to my calendar. So that's backed up by research. So you're more likely to achieve your goal if you write it down. So make sure that you consistently send out emails by getting them written down, getting the content, not the whole content, but the topic of emails written down. Get maybe a wall planner or in your Google Calendar or whatever way that you use to organize yourself. Get that down in the calendar. Actually, let me just show you. I will just show you what I do. So I put everything in an online calendar because I have help with my email marketing. Where's my share button gone? I want to share screen. And I want to show. Oh, I can't. Oh, hang on. Let's do it this way. Let's work this out. Oh, this is what happens when I do something that I haven't planned. Do you see? So this is how I plan my. Oh, I don't know why that. Oh, there we go. This is how I plan my calendar. So this is 4 weeks from today. This is what it looked like last month, and that's my social media and my email marketing. And it all gets put in there, all the events that I'm speaking at, it's all color coded, so I know what I'm doing when. You can see for today, there's the marketing mix. I've put in a little reminder for myself that I want to create a Facebook story. So that's how I organize myself, and I put my newsletter topics in week by week. So for you to make sure that you consistently do that, plot out on a calendar what you want to the topics that you want to send out, what days in the month are important to you. Once you've got all those notable dates in your calendar, work backwards from there and work out, like, when do I need to send my emails. So again, very topical, but not that I celebrate Valentine's Day. I'm not really a massive fan of Valentine's Day, I have to say. I don't know if you saw my Facebook post yesterday, but I much prefer Pancake Day. But if you are a business that does get trade on Valentine's Day, does sell things for Valentine's Day, well, that's the 14th of February, but you don't want to send out your email on the 14th of February. So work backwards from there to figure out, when people need to get their orders in by, so that you can send them out in time for Valentine's Day, and then send your emails out in advance of those, so that you have a really good campaign that's running. Oh, Graham's setting up a new business. So he's setting up GT Clothing. What dates would you think would be best sportswear currently for outdoor running, exercise? Oh, Graham, turning into a right little entrepreneur. Well, I would say, I don't know if the London Marathon's going to go ahead this year, but if they're going to do what they did last year and turned it into a virtual marathon, that would be perfect for you for outdoor sportswear. That's normally April time. But as the weather starts getting better, you might want to start talking to people about what kind of outdoor exercise wear that they might want to have for as the weather turns better. I don't know about how it is with you today, but it's been snowing here all day, and it does not tempt me to go outside at all. But spring, it's great outdoors weather. Maggie, I'm going to go until 2:30, but this session will be available on Facebook or on YouTube, recorded afterwards. If you need to pop off, you can catch up on it later. So let's talk about how that works in reality. Back to the chocolate business, we've talked about this. So Valentine's Day promotion, you need to work back from the 14th of February. So perhaps you want to send your original campaign 2 weeks before Valentine's Day. So your original announcement with whatever offer that you have, or just as a reminder, you might not even want to have an offer. You might want to just showcase the special products that you've got for Valentine's Day. So 2 weeks before Valentine's Day, and then perhaps send a reminder email a week before, and then your last chance to order 1 or 2 days before your last posting date, knowing that at the moment things are disrupted quite a bit. So, whatever campaigns you've got coming up after Valentine's Day, whatever you've got coming up, and if you have to mail things out to people, take that into account in terms of your emails and when you send things out. So again, I just want to reiterate, don't try and do this all in one go. Take 15 minutes at a time until you've got a plan. And if you decide that you want to send a monthly newsletter, you're only planning for 12 emails in the year. Only 12. That's not a huge amount. So in 15 minutes, you get your key dates for you in the year, then plug gaps with awareness days in another block of 15 minutes, then another block of 15 minutes, sort everything out about what's going out when, in terms of topics. and then work that into 12 emails for the year, what you're going to send on each month, and try and make that the same time every month, because then people are expecting to hear from you. So don't let that plan slip. And I think, you know, if we've learned anything from last year, is that, you know, things just change. They change at the last minute. Your plans change. We've all had to adapt to different ways of doing business. That has meant that we've had to adapt our marketing plans. And just because you wrote it down on a piece of paper or put it on a calendar or whatever you've done, that does not mean that it's set in stone. It doesn't mean that you can't change things. Of course you must. You need to adapt your plans to the circumstances that your business is facing. So that's a really good reason to review your plans regularly to see if the campaigns that you have got in the calendar still meet your major business goals. Okay, so I would say once every 3 months, just sit down and look at your plans and think what's coming up in the next 3 months, and is what I've got written down, does that actually help me? Does that help me reach the goals that I want to reach? And if not, change it. That's exactly what happened to me last year. I left for holiday, as I said. I left for holiday in February last year with a plan in place to help me find more events where I could go and speak at other people's events, ones that I hadn't organised. And I was going to do no events of my own last year, none. What happened? In March, when everything just went crazy, from March onwards, I did 3 webinars in 12 weeks and goodness knows how many Facebook Lives, because I knew businesses needed help, and I knew that I had the platforms to do it, even though I didn't want to organise these things myself. My plans changed, and I ran with it, and I adapted, and you know, people came to those events. So it's not such a bad thing. So whether you want to generate sales or boost event registrations, just keep your eye on the prize. What is it that you want to achieve? Make sure that the marketing that you do feeds into those goals. And that's really important, because if your marketing doesn't result in you making money, then something's not quite working right. So I hope, yeah. Thank you, Spoken World. Like the idea of doing things in little blocks. I need to carve out time for research. Absolutely. And that's the thing, is sometimes with things like research, you can get stuck in that mode of just researching, and then just you kind of go down a rabbit hole with it, and things just, you kind of spiral out, and before you know, 2 hours have gone. But yeah, definitely, you know, set yourself little blocks of time to go and do that. Research, planning, everything. I think it just works better. And even if, I mean, we've been told that if you work on a screen, that you should get up from your desk every 20 minutes and go and walk around and have a stretch. And that's exactly what you're doing for your mind when you're planning or researching. Cool. So hopefully that's given you a good idea of how to create your email marketing plan, and you can go away and put together a plan for yourself. And I recommend that when you send, like you send regularly, but I recommend not going less than a month. So send a monthly email so that people remember that they're on your list, and that they recognize that you're sending them things, and you're sending them things that are valuable to them. So try and do that every month. But if you've done your plan and you know the topics for each newsletter, it will be easy, because when you sit down to write your newsletter, you'll know exactly what's going in it, and you'll be able to do that really quickly. I do mine in less than 15 minutes, and that's writing it and designing it and testing it and scheduling it. It normally takes me about 5 minutes to write, and the rest in the remaining time. So if you've got all your ducks in a row, really, it will go fast. So if you want to know more about email marketing and how it works, I do have a webinar coming up next week. I'm going to pop the link into the chat. Hopefully this is going to let me do it. It wouldn't let me do it the other time. if you are in my Facebook group, or on my email list to receive the marketing morsel, please book using that link, because you know that my webinars are free for you if you're in either one of those two places. But there is the link for you. I think that's gone to YouTube. Oh, it's going to both places. Oh, isn't this software clever? So if you're in my Facebook group, or you receive the marketing morsel, use the links that I've sent you in those two places, because my webinars are free for you if you're in those two places. For everyone else, there's the link to the webinar. It's only £10.16. It's an hour, and I will show you exactly how to kickstart your email marketing for this year. That's everything for today. Gosh, less than half an hour. So I talked fast. I hope this has been useful. I would love some feedback. These are going to be every 2 weeks. And I'm going to, as I said at the top, I'm going to have a mix of me and other people, other marketing experts on to interview them. So if there are topics that you want to learn about, do let me know. Email me, or drop me a comment on Facebook, or comment on either of these videos with topics that you want to know about. But I will be back here in 2 weeks' time. The recording for this session will be available on Facebook and on YouTube as soon as I've finished. If you do go to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe. You'll get lots of these every 2 weeks, and I'm planning other things for YouTube as well. So I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Take care. Bye.